Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the weekend banger. It's a lock, y'all. It's time for the weekend banger, man. It's time for the weekend banger, man. That's a lock, and I got one. I keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, man, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, man. And I promise y'all, it's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, though, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. It just make more sense, man, to be out here with your peoples, man, and be in there relying on your peoples, man. When you get locked up, man, I'm telling you, man, you gotta wait on people, man. You gotta wait on people to do stuff for you, man. So that means that girl you used to dog out there, or your brother that you used to dog out there that you didn't look out for, or your sister that you didn't look out for, or your mama that you didn't look out for when you was out there doing all this madness. You gotta wait on these people now. You gotta wait on them to take care of you, man. That's what you gotta do when you get locked up, man. And that's a part of your punishment, man. Relying on those people that you left behind. And that's not a good situation. Everybody that's been locked up has been through it, man. And it's not a good thing to go through, man. I'm telling you, man, you better off staying out here with them. If you out here doing crime and getting in trouble, man, stop. Just stop it, man. It's not adding up. And you know it's not adding up. You know how? Because you haven't improved nothing in your life by doing this crime. You're still in the same place you're at, in the hood. You gotta stop what you're doing, man. Everybody, man. Everybody that's out here wilding, man, stop it. That's all I'm saying, man. You might as well come over here and stay out the way with us, man. It's better off that way, man. At least you'll be able to get a legit job or get a legit hustle going on, and you can get some money. Now, if you somebody that's addicted to hustling, you should be able to find a hustle that's legit, man. A hustler is a hustler, man. Find your niche, man. There's too much going on out here with technology and all this other type of stuff for nobody not to be getting no money, man. So all I'm telling you is, man, if you out here wilding, man, turn your life around. Just come over here with us and just stay out the way, man. You better off that way, y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the weekend banger. So what did y'all do this one? Like, share, subscribe, so y'all. Let's go. But it's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called A Lot Changed in 3 Months. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation. But we are aware, people. We in penitentiary, man. Well, crazy things happen all the time. I'm telling y'all, man, you have people in there, man, they'll be this way one moment, you leave and come back or go to another compound, bump into them later on, they're a different way, man. They even crazier. They might then join the red or the blue team. It all depends, man. A lot can change in a little bit of time in prison, man. I've seen it happen a million times, man. A lot of people be still trying to find themselves in there, man. And it's sad because, you know, it never turns out good in a lot of instances, man. So, like, with that being said, though, we on Susses 2 for this, y'all. We on Susses 2. I can remember being in 2C for this one, man. This is in the beginning time when I first got in 2C, man. But, like, you know, I done been in there a little second now, you know, from being the beginning of the people that started in there, man. So, like, you know, I've been there for a little while now, man. And I was in cell 34. And that was a cool cell, you know what I mean? I didn't really like being all the way back in the cut. But my roommate was cool because he was the guy that I got off the bus with. And it was a good situation in the beginning, man. But, you know, he ended up moving. I forgot. I think he signed up for the kitchen. He did something, but he ended up moving. My roommate ended up moving. So when my roommate ended up moving, it was like I was still in cell 34, but I didn't really like it. So as they started just bringing in more dudes and more dudes, that's when I started making my move. So I ended up getting in the cell with my homeboy. My homeboy was from Norfolk. I had gotten in the cell with him. And when I moved in the cell with him, he was in cell 23. Now, y'all know cell 23 is those hotel suites that I be telling y'all about, basically, like some substitute. That's cell 1 and cell 23. They are directly by the booth. Now, I didn't move in there to be the number one thunner. I didn't move in there to do that. I moved in there to actually kick with my homeboy. And my homeboy wasn't on that type of time either, but we was both new to penitentiary, both of us. So like when we was in that cell, it used to be several dudes in there trying to rent the cell out, trying to see if they can get in there. And like, we was to be on some like, nah, like none of that jumping. We weren't on that type of time. But that cell that's what that cell was basically for. A lot of dudes that go in that cell, that's what they like to do. So I was in cell 23, man. Everything was good. Me and my homeboy was in there. My homeboy was a Muslim, you know what I mean? And, he was one of the first Muslims that I met, but outside the people that I met that was in the jail. But, he was a Muslim. All we did is kick it. He was from the town, man. We used to kick it. But he was somebody else that was about to get transferred too. So I already knew that I wasn't going to be in the cell with him long. So when he finally got transferred, man, like, I was stuck in a predicament where I didn't know who to bring in my cell. So when I was waiting to see who I was going to bring in my cell, it was too late. Because by the time that my homeboy got transferred, they was already bringing somebody into my cell. Now I'm not gonna say where this dude was from, man. But he won't from the 757 on this one, y'all. He for the 804 game. Word for the 804 game. But this dude come in my cell. We're gonna call him Freddie. Man. Now Freddie was like a brown skinned dude. He was a little taller than me. He had the little fro, you know what I mean? He had the little fro game. He was young too. He was probably like in his 20s. He was in his early 20s too. But when he moved in the cell, like, I was still trying to get somebody in there. But when he come in the joint, he come in as somebody that don't have nothing, don't got no TV, ain't got nothing. I barely had stuff because we're fairly new in the joint. But still though, like, he didn't have anything. So when he come in, like, I basically told him, like, look, bro, I don't know if dudes told you that dudes be slanging out this cell, but like, I don't do no slanging out this cell, and I don't want my roommate to do no slanging out this cell. And if that's what you want, then you need to find another cell. So he was like, nah, I ain't with that. I don't do that like that. I'm like, you sure? He like, yeah, I don't get down like that. I'm like, all right, that's a bet. So everything was good. But like, when he moved in the room, he wasn't really on no BS. Like I told y'all though, like he really just chilled, mind his business. He got his people to send him some money. He actually went to commissary and went to property that same month and bought him a TV and got his food right. He got everything he's supposed to get. Now he was coming from a whole new receiver. You know what I mean? And so, he's not from the 757, you know what I mean? He wasn't from Tidewater, so he was from the 804 side. But I saw different about him that he didn't really know a lot of dudes from the 804. Like he wasn't dealing with a lot of dudes that was super, you know what I mean? That was like, yo, you would think, like, I already know how it looks when the 804 dudes and everybody from their side be seeing people they know that they stick with those people. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a major geographical thing, especially around this time in the early 2000s. So like, I noticed that he wasn't like that with a lot of the dudes. Now, I'm pretty sure that they heard that he was from the 804, but still though, nobody really gravitated to him like how I thought it was going to be. But he ended up telling me later on, you know what I mean, where he was from, which was like the outskirts of everything that was going on the 804, but he was still 804 gang. So that explained everything, you know what I mean? Like, he told me he didn't really have a bunch of time. I think he told me he had 7 years, you know what I mean, or something like that. And he got sent to Sussex too because he was messing up in the jail. So he broke everything down and started making sense, man. So as time went on, me and Freddie was all right. Now the whole time me and Freddie was in there, like, he never showed no weird signs of nothing. Like, for real, like when the doors pop, he would usually get out my way. And he'll come back in sometimes, like we'll share the room. If he had need the room, he'll have the room or whatever the case. But like, like he had his own stuff. So it was like, he definitely never was in my way. He wasn't nobody that was bringing people to the cell. He wasn't doing none of that, man. And like, for real, like I was happy not to get a roommate like that. So when I was so busy trying to find somebody, I felt like I found a good roommate. So I ended up letting Freddie stay in the jank. You know what I mean? I had a homeboy that wanted to move, but I ended up just letting him stay in the jank, man. So he turned out to be cool. He turned out to be a cool dude. I ain't even gonna lie. So a little bit more time it went on. So me and bro in the junk chilling. So he know I used to mess with the la-la crazy. He didn't mess with the la-la at all. You know what I mean? All he used to like to do is mess with the roll-ups. You know what I mean? He didn't mess with the la-la. For some reason, he won't mess with the la-la. So he know I would be in the cell all the time messing with the la-la. Or I'd be running around my homeboy messing with the la-la. Like, that's all I used to do. So I can remember the first time that I actually went to the hole, man. I was outside, man. And I was out there with my homeboy, man. And I remember, man, this was morning rec. I'll never forget this, man. He came outside. He actually came out, like, I'm talking about, we on the other side by 4 building courts. We on the courts down there. And this man came outside. And like, I don't know how he did it. He was able to come out and he walked that back boulevard I told y'all we be taking a long way. He came out, man. He came all the way on the side. He was like, he got somebody to call me. And then when somebody called me, he was like, hey, they call you and your man for a P test. So we like, what? So like, this wasn't going on like this in the beginning on Sussex 2. So when he told me that, it was like, it alerted, like, you know what I mean? It gave me some type of sense of alert. So I need to tighten up immediately, man. I promise you, man. Me and my homeboy drunk the whole, remember I told y'all the little Gatorade joint they be having, the the little cooler joint. You can twist the top off like this, a little circle top. Man, they'll have that sitting on something. You hit the button and you can get water. It'll be full of ice and water. Man, I promise you, man. Me and my homeboy drank that whole thing of water, y'all. So boom, we drank the whole thing, man. Like that man gave us they call y'all for what? They call y'all for the P test. And that's all I had to hear. It was like, I felt like we had a good chance because we was outside. You know what I mean? So they didn't come get us off the yard. Apparently if we're not in the pod, like they already know we're probably outside. So they didn't come get us off from off the yard. So we drank all the water. We drank all the water. We out there jump, man. I'm talking about I feel bloated. I done drunk so much water. You hear me? I done peed I done used the bathroom probably about 3 times. About 3 times since I've been out there in front of everybody. I don't care. And we was right there on the court. I had to tell the dudes on the big yard. Dudes that's on the big yard, yo, turn around. Y'all gotta turn around for a second, man. I came through the gate game. You hear me? Right there. When you drinking all that water, that stuff gonna be coming out you. You know what I mean? I promise you, man, like, you know, that's the only chance I felt like I had. I didn't really want to go to the hole. I was used to being in 2C. 2C was the only part I knew. I've been in 2C since I got the Sussex 2, man. So everybody like, well, Weezy, man, you'll be all right, man. End up letting us off the yard. So they end up letting us off the yard. We go back to the pod. Get back in the pod. It's lockdown time. As soon as we come in, the sergeant dude right there, the CO dude right there. So they see us come back in. Like, white, call my other homeboy name, like, look, after count, we coming to get y'all for the test. So be ready. Like, all right. So I'm looking at this, like this joint extra bootleg game because they giving us the whole count time to drink water. I'm like, man, ain't no way in the world I'm going down for this, y'all. So boom, I went to sell it, went bananas, man. I got righteous in that joint. I'm telling y'all, man, I went bananas in that joint. I drank so much water, it didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense, man. It didn't make no sense at all how much water I drank, but I drank so much water, man. I freaking was peeing. I was freaking doing number 2 at the same time. I was peeing and doing number 2 at the same time. I know that sounds scary, pause, but I was doing that, man. I'm talking about that's how much water I was drinking. After I did number 1 and number 2, you know what happened after that? I earled. Man, I did everything that you could think of. I was drinking so much water, man. I drank more water than my body just said, you know what? No, bro, you can't drink no more water, man. And I was just laying on the floor like, after they counted, I was on the floor. I couldn't even really move. I done drunk so much water, man. And people counted, they opened the doors after lockdown. So next thing you know, we on standby for child. So we come out. The lady was like, yo, I was like, listen, I stepped out, you know, the booth right there. I was like, look, they gonna come get us now or they gonna, she was like, oh, now I think they coming to get y'all after lunch. I'm like, after lunch? So I'm like, these people are wilding. My homeboy like, yo, they giving us plenty time to get clean. Man, my word, I go drink more water. Man. Long story short, when I finally go take the test, man, I still fail. I still fail, y'all. I promise y'all, I was smoking so much la, man, I probably burnt the cup game, y'all. So boom. Me and my homeboy go down. We both go to the hole. They come pack us up the next day. I'm sick. Everybody's like, oh, Weezy gone. Oh, everybody, man, that rocked with me was super mad about it. I was mad about it. I was gonna have to tell my mom that I was done on contact visits for 6 months. This was a lot right here for the la, man, but I need it, man. Need the la, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. So I go to the hole. Man. Before I dip, I tell Freddie, man, I'm gonna holler at you. You know what I mean? I felt like he was cool about it, but like I felt like he was a little happy that I was leaving on the low. And the only reason I say that is because even though he came to warn us about the situation, I just felt like he really knew that I was going down. So I really felt like he really wanted the bottom bunk, which he's entitled to now that I'm about to leave and stuff. But like, you know, I could tell when somebody's kind of like faking like they sad. He wasn't really faking like he was sad, but it was just his nonchalantness of everything after the transpired the situation. He did came and warn us. I give him that, but still though, he knew we was duct tape. He already knew we was duct tape, man. So I leave, you know what I mean? Me and him want that. We was cool from sellers, but like we wasn't homeboys or nothing like that. I wasn't tripping, but you know, it's all good. You got it. So I dip. I go to the hole, man. I'm back that jump, man. Them people drag me, y'all. People did me super dirty, man. I ain't gonna lie. Me and my homeboy was in the same pod. Man, I promise you, man, they got this jump they was doing in the hole where the sergeant would come through and, you know, they got your chart right there on everybody's door because you're in segregation. So the sergeant or the lieutenant or whoever the case would come through with the CO and they would do like a inspection on you like every couple of days, every couple of days. And like if you got your bed made, nothing on your light, you keeping yourself groomed or whatever the case, they would give you points as far as getting out or whatever the case. I can't remember exactly how I went, but it was something like that. But it was like, you know, if that wasn't the case, you know, it was even with you doing that, it was still up to them to be like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna keep you here. So you would get a charge. Like my charge said that I would have 30 days in the hole, 15 to 30 days in the hole. But they had that program which where if you're not in compliance, like they want you to be, then they will be able to keep you in there longer. So like it all depends on who you will talk to or who you will be that you will see. So I can remember, man, my mama came and see me, man. I told her not to come, but she still popped up to see me behind the glass. And right when they was doing the little jumps I was telling you about when they come watch, I was just watching the dude just free everybody that's in the hole. Now I have been in the hole about 2 weeks now. So I'm just like, I'm trying to luck up, like, man, I'm trying to get out this jump, man. So when he get upstairs, I'm in cell 41. So when he get upstairs to my man that's in like 26, he get to my man door. As soon as he leave my man door, my man show me his paper. He like, go on, Weezy. Yeah, he let me out. I'm like, for real. So I'm waiting on him to get to my jump. The lady come on the intercom and tell me I got a VI. I think I said this in a story before. She told me I had a VI. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, who is it? She like, I don't know. You want it or not? I'm like, I couldn't turn it down. Man, when them people come get you, man, they transport you in a wheelchair. Like when you in segregation, they push you in a wheelchair down the boulevard. So when they was coming to handcuff me and do everything, I was just watching the dude do the job. Cool sergeant dude, man. So I go to my visit, I see Mom Dukes. I have a good visit. By the time I come back from my visit, man, dude is gone. The dude is gone. That's the freaking a-hole doing the jumps now, man. The dude like a black Sergeant Slaughter, y'all. So boom. He a super black racist, man. I never seen a dude that was a black racist. I wish I could remember his name. I'll tell y'all. Can't stand this dude, man. Black, dark skin, got the hat. Look like a straight freaking Mississippi maniac, man. That's word, man. That dude like a psychopath, man. That man was clapping everybody. Long story short, when he came to my door, that man said, he looked at my chart. He looked at my cell. I'm straight. I'm like, I'm just waiting on the answer. He said, I'm now putting you on segregation, son. I forgot what it was, and he had no reason to do it. Man, that man kept me back there, man, for another 60-some days, y'all. So boom, I was back there a minute, man. When it was all said and done, I was down there 3 months. Man, I think I went back there, man, like the beginning of June, man. I didn't get out till 2 days before my birthday, man. My birthday is October 7th, y'all. Man, when I tell y'all, man, when I got out the hole, I was skinny. I was a little guy. I was a little guy when I got out, man. You're not eating good. People saying you're a little light, but it's not enough. I'm 3 months in this joint, man. Promise y'all, man, when the lady came in my intercom and told me, man, White, I was like, yo, she was like, you ready to leave? I'm leaving today. She was like, yeah, you leaving today, White. I was like, yes, man. I said, where they sending me at? 4 building? She was like, nah, you going back to 2 Charlie. I was like, I'm going back to 2C. She was like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's what's up, man. You know what I mean? Even though I know a lot has changed in 90 days, you know what I mean? So I'm like, that's what's up, though. I was happy about it. Everybody, you gone? We said, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. So they finally let me out. I get out, take that walk, get that fresh air. I'm feeling good, man. I get back up to 2C, man. I get in the joint. My word, man. I'm happy to be out. I'm happy to be at 2C, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm in cell 5. So when I first got in there, I'm gonna wind the tape. When I first got in the joint, man, I ain't even gonna lie. When I first got in the joint, man, like when I walked in, it was a good situation. Like, you know, when I seen my old cellie, you know what I mean? Like he was standing on the top tier by our old cell. So when I walked in, I see Freddie. So when I see him, he like, oh, what's up, Weezy, man? He came down the steps. He like, what's up? What you got going on, man? I'm like, I'm chilling, man. I ain't got nothing going on. He was like, that's what's up, man. I was like, hey, bro. I was like, yeah, bro. They drug me back there, man. He was like, I see you got little, man. I was like, yeah, bro. I'm getting shrinked up back there, pause. Like, you know what I mean? I'm little. He was like, yeah, that's what's up, man. He was like, you good? I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, that's what's up, man. I was like, yeah, I'm chilling though, bro. I was like, you know, everybody in 4 building now, for real, bro. He was like, yeah, I see. So me and him did a little small talk, and that was that, you know what I mean? So I got myself situated. And then I took a shower, you know what I mean? I did everything I was supposed to do, get a haircut. I did everything I was supposed to do, got myself together. So when I had came back out, I had went and got on the phone. So when I get on the phone, I'm like this on the phone. So I had see a light-skinned dude kind of come to my old cell window, because 23 is right there. I got my back to the wall. I see a light-skinned dude, he come to the window, he looking out the jump. I'm like, oh, that must be Freddie's roommate, you know what I mean? I'm on the jack. I'm like, yo, that must be Freddie's roommate right there. So I ain't paying no mind, but I seen him. So they do cell break, you know what I mean? He still don't come out. So I see Freddie go to the jump, you know what I mean? So when I hang the phone up, I'm like, damn, I wonder if Freddie still got my stinger, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm trying to make the suit. So I'm like, let me holler at Freddie right quick. So I go up the steps, you know what I mean? I go back towards down by my cell 23. I knock on the door. The door open door. I knock on the jump. He like, yo. I look. When I look, I seen him sitting on the bed, you know what I mean? But on his bottom bunk, the other dude was sitting next to him on the bottom bunk. They was on some like, they was just laughing and joking about something like, you know, they weren't touching each other or nothing, but both of them on the bottom bunk, it was a strange thing to witness because I don't recall never seeing nobody sit on the bottom bunk together, you know what I mean? So when I pin it, I'm like, this junk crazy, man. I'm like, this junk wild. I'm like, he's sitting on the bottom of bunk together. What they got going on, man? You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, look, bro, you still got my stinger? You know what I mean? He like, yo, you trying to use it? Yeah, I still got the junk. So he pulled out in the corner. He went in the corner, pulled the chain out. I get a good look at the dude, you know. So I'm looking, you know what I mean? I don't pay no mind, but like, as he going down there to get the stinger, I tried to scan. I was like, couldn't really get him like that because he blocked the dude. I was like, he gave me this thing. I was like, oh, all right, that's what's up, man. I was like, you good though? Fred was like, yeah, I'm good. I was like, possibility. I was like, oh, all right. I was like, everything good though, bro? I was like, yeah, but you straight though, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna holler at you, appreciate you, man. I'll bring it back up to you, man. He was like, all right. So I took this thing and left. You know what I mean? So when I left out, I had went downstairs and I told my homeboy, I was like, hey, look. I said, man, who my celly got in this? Who my celly roommate is, bro? He was like, oh, you told me the dude in the room that moved in there when you left. I'm like, yeah, who is he? He was like, oh, he from such and such. He was saying he was from Tidewater. He was like, yeah, he from such and such. He was like, I don't really know him like that. You know what I mean? He was like, well, I don't know a dude like that. They call him Stacy. We gonna call him Stacy. He was like, yeah, they call him Stacy. I was like, Stacy. He was like, yeah. I was like, well, all right, though. I was like, hey, look, my celly been in here acting crazy when I left or something, man. He was like, why you saying that? I'm like, cuz, bro, like, you know what I mean? I went to get the stinger. And you know, dude was sitting on his bed looking crazy fruity, bro. I was like, that John look wild. He was like, oh no, I don't think that, you know what I mean? So like, I just shook it out my mind because it didn't look like a situation where they could have been doing anything. You know what I mean? Like I could have just been overreacting, or I could have just been not minding my own business about what I'm thinking I'm seeing. But at the end of the day, I just felt like it was something shaky, man. But I let it go. You know what I mean? It wasn't really nothing for me to be studying or nothing like that. So I let it go, man. So fast forward to tape, a little time that went on, man. And that's when bro had got transferred, you know what I mean? Now I'm in the cell dolo, you know what I mean? I had got another roommate, so I'm in the junk chilling. So it was like, now everything is situated now. I'm back in 2C, I'm feeling great. But the whole time though, what was going on, it was like my roommate, man, like, you know what I mean? Like he felt like, I guess because he gave me the stinger, which was my stinger, I guess he felt like he had to come back and get it on some maniac time. So like, that kind of threw me off. But when I'm in the room chilling, he knocked on the door. This is like a couple weeks later. Like I went and gave it back to him a couple times, but after like a couple times of the weeks, I kept it because it's mine. You know what I mean? So he in here, knock at the door. Yo, it's Freddie. He like, hey, look, man. Me and my homeboy trying to use the stinger, man. You took it from us, man. I'm like, took it from y'all? Like, yo, Fred, that's my stinger, bro. I just left it when I left. He was like, I mean, yeah, but you know, through all the lockdowns, I kept it safe. So, you know, like, I just felt like it was mine. I was like, you felt like it was yours? I said, why would you feel like it was yours? He was like, because, you know, because I held it down while you was, I said, bro, listen, thank you. But it's not yours, bro. This is my stinger, bro. And I said, and furthermore, bro, I don't want to loan my stinger out no more, bro. I said, because you ain't even fixed the piece right here. I said, you know, it go bad sometimes. You got to get the dude to sort of the piece back. I said, you ain't do none of that, bro. I said, you just keep trying to throw it in the water or whatever the case. I said, get somebody to make you a stinger, man. He said, but I want that stinger. I said, nah, this is my stinger right here, Fred. How you gonna get this stinger? This is my stinger, bro. He was like, he backed up out the cell. He was like, so I'm looking at him like I know he ain't finna get mad over my stuff. You know what I mean? I know he ain't finna get mad over my stuff. So as he back up, I see the dude Stacy come out of nowhere. And was like, don't worry. I guess he was beside the door the whole time. Listen, I didn't notice. You know what I mean? So I hear him say, man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Freddie. Come on. Don't worry about it, Freddie. We'll get another stinger. So they go upstairs. So put the joint up, I come out in the pod, I'm like, looking around, it's my word, I look upstairs, I see the dude, Stacy and Freddie, they're in 23 out by my whole cell, they on the railing, I look, they on the railing like this, like the dude, Stacy like this on the railing, and the dude in my old celly, Fred, standing beside him like they talking like they plotting or something, you know what I mean? So I'm like I took it like it was a threat, I don't know, because maybe I'm a psycho or whatever the case, man, but like, don't be looking at me and looking like you talking about me, man, because I'm going to address that situation, man. I'm going to address that situation, y'all. So when I seen that, I was like, man, I went in the cell, my shoes, and I was like, man, you got me mixed up, man. One of the stuff's like bad dudes, y'all.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.